Okay, we are now recording. So this will be really just some basic tips tonight that I wanted to talk about, but I know like I was sharing a couple of ideas with Brianna the other day and I was like, why don't I just do a team call on it so that you can jot them all down, know what I use. So I'm talking about just some basic apps that I use like to film like my workouts, and put them on my stories, just things like that. Then some other random tips I thought about, like, so everything's just all kind of to do with stories and pictures and videos. Um, and yeah, so it should be good, simple. How do I do it? Okay. All right. So the first one, this actually, I take that back. The first one is not to do with stories, but I talk about Asana quite a bit. So I just wanted to bring it up first because I literally just looked at my phone and I was like, what apps do I have that I should tell them about? Like I use Asana every single day. Um, so I mentioned before that it is free. You just go online, probably asana.com, make an account. You can sign in however with Google or whatever. And and then you can also download the app and it will connect with your information. And so it updates, you know what I mean, like simultaneously. So it's really just a to-do list. Like there's a lot of other stuff that you can do in Asana, but I've never explored it. Like, and I'm not like, I don't know, I just don't need it for all that other stuff. But what I use it for, and once you go in and see it, you'll see it's really simple. Um, I literally just click add task, I think it is, or something. And then I use it to put in, if somebody said yes, they want more information, I put their name in there, sometimes even before I even send them the information, because I do not want to forget to follow up with them. It's so much easier and faster than writing it down somewhere because I can do it when I'm at the grocery store or anywhere. I just add task, type in their name or type in their IG handle. There's a spot for, it says description, that you can remind yourself, like maybe they're pregnant right now, or maybe they want to wait a few weeks, but you want to just remind yourself to check in with them, or, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can use it for. And then the coolest part is at the top, you can sort by due date and it will sort it by what's due today, tomorrow, etc. And so that is how I keep track now. Like I said, follow-ups, sometimes to remind myself of somebody that I want to invite, but they're not ready yet. Um, I type in every time a customer signs up, they're always worried about the Shakeology renewing. So I remind them. So I put that in there and I've started putting the date that it's going to renew so that I remember that. Um, and it's so fast and so easy, and you just put the date when it's due, done. I put my to-do list in there, like what I have to do each day, or, you know, just depending, whatever. I also put in if I have new challengers like for the year that I want to check on. And then at the bottom, actually, when you create a due date, there's also a little space at the bottom. And if you click it, it will say you have the option to repeat it. So it will just hang on to their name and repeat it like every Wednesday or whatever day you tell it, or every 10 days or whatever. So that is what I do for challengers. So then like nobody gets lost. I don't forget, you know, whatever. Um, yeah, I said all of that. Okay. And if you have any more questions about any of this, you can drop them in the chat or message me after. But let me just say, I am not tech savvy. Like, this is the extent of it. And if I can figure it out, then you can figure it out. Because I started with nothing, literally nothing, not even an Instagram. So all of these, and honestly, like, I'm sure there are like 100 more apps now that could be used that are better than these now. But I just wanted to show you how simple it can be. And I'm still using these. So I don't like to learn new things. Eventually, I'll probably have to. But these are ones that people told me. Okay, so I use Pic Collage. I'm sure there's like a lot of different ones that you could do side by sides for your progress photos, transformation posts. But this is the one that I happen to have and use. So you can search this one or search a different one in your app store. Everything I do is free. I do not pay for apps. And it's so easy, like you download it, you click the plus sign, you add in however many pictures you want, and then it puts it together. You choose what layout you want, save it to your camera roll, and you're done. So I did put, obviously for your side-by-side pictures, but I also use it when somebody sends me theirs, or when we've had, like challenges and stuff in our groups or whatever. So yeah, it's good to have on hand and good to know how to use it. And I said why it is our job to share our journey and to be getting results and taking care of ourselves first. So that is an important why if you need to have a reason to get this app. And then this is two separate ones, but I just put them together because they're not the same thing. They are different. But Pick, Play, Post is the first one. And then Triller is the second one. And I'm trying to think. Pick, Play, Post, I don't even think I really made an account. I don't remember. Triller, you do kind of make an account, but they're both free still. So Pick, Play, Post has a couple of different options. It's kind of like an automated pick collage type thing. So there's two different ways that you can, one is like you could do two side by side and you could upload your videos. So they'd both be playing at the same time, but it's just a still screen. Or some of them even have like multiple squares or something like that. And then the other option that you can click inside of that is like, I don't know if you see my stories, sometimes it's just scrolling up like this and going. That's Pick, Play, Post. And it's just called like automated templates. And so there's that one, there's like ones that open up into like cubes. And so it's kind of neat because it keeps it moving, and that I like to use those a lot when I'm in a hurry, because I can just click, like 8 videos, next. It puts it in one, it looks really neat, and then I save it. And sometimes I leave the sound, sometimes I mute it, sometimes I add music, whatever. But the music that you'll add, if you do that, I just add it once I'm on Instagram. I just mute the sound on Instagram for it, and then I'll add the music over there. Because I think one time I had to I didn't note that. And I like downloaded some song, and then it got flagged on Instagram because it didn't have the rights. And so you just use Instagram's music. Yeah, so I really like that one when I'm in a hurry. And then Triller does take a little bit more time, but it kind of flashes before your eyes like a movie. So what you do with that one is put 4, 5, 6 of your 15-second slides in there. And again, it's really simple. Like there's a lot of fancy stuff that you can do with it, which I don't know how to do. You can change like the filter, and it can like flash at you, and it could be black and white. Like you can change the speed of how fast it changes. There's all kinds of things you could play around with. I don't like to spend a ton of time on this stuff because in the end, I don't think it matters. So I'm assuming that a lot of my followers don't care that much about it either. If you are different, like it might matter to them. They might want to see a really awesome video. So that's just personal preference. But you go in there and you put those videos in, and then you can like reshuffle it if you don't like what piece of that slide it took, you can reshuffle it. And anyway, same thing at the end. I think you have to share it to Triller, but you can post it as private, which is what I do. And then once it's posted in Triller, there's a spot that says share now. If you don't remember this, that's fine, but I'm still going to say it because it has changed, and this kind of stuff took me forever to learn. You'll click the little share now red button, and it'll take you to a screen, and you'll click like more or something, and then it'll give you the option to save the video. It'll save it to your phone. It's not that complicated, but I can, like I said, I can say it again and again. And Triller, you will choose a song in Triller, and then it will play with the song. So yeah, that's how those differ, but I use them both for like workout story videos. And then workout story tips. So I'm like, what did I write? Workout video stories. We really don't want to have a whole lot of them. And I made this, like, I don't even want to call it a mistake really, but at the beginning of coaching, like, all I posted about was my workout. And like, I wanted to show every move that I did and like how good I did and all the different whatever. But you realize, especially if you watch the number, like, people stop watching, and they don't care. So it's fun for like a few slides. Like I said, 1 to 3. There are occasional days, where I'll have more than that. Like it just depends on like what my message is that day. But for the most part, I keep it to like 1 or 2. A lot of times with Triller, like you can do like a whole 30-second song or something, and that's pretty entertaining. I think it's okay. So I said 1 to 3 slides. That would be about 45 seconds. And again, if you are wanting to show all those different moves, that's why these apps are so helpful, because then you can put it in there in a fun way instead of everyone awkwardly watching the long 15-second videos of your moves. You don't want to lose your audience. You want to stay engaging, stay interesting, fun, funny, whatever your thing is. And like, oh, I guess I said that next. Keep it fun, engaging. Sometimes you can add value to it. You can put words on the screen, whatever's on your heart that day. And then sometimes I leave it totally just like I'm in there, and I let them hear the trainer. And some of that depends on if I'm in a hurry. Some of it depends on like whatever I'm thinking that day. But give it variety so that it is different, because it's amazing how many people watch my story every day, have watched it forever, and like they think that I'm working out with a group, oh, I don't have time for that, or oh, I'm not on the same time zone, or like, and it's like, you watch me every day. So it's amazing that can be confusing. So sometimes just show, everything, where your workout's coming from, that kind of stuff. We are just flying through. Other story tips. So after recording on Triller or Pick Play Post, put it in your stories, like however long that whole video is. Because a lot of, like, especially the Pick Play Post ones, if you do the scrolling video or one of those cube ones, they all vary in time. And right now, I don't know if your guys' Instagrams are like this, but mine will only load in a minute. It'll only do 4 slides. So sometimes it's 10, but it hasn't been 10 for a long time. It's only been 4, which is really annoying. But that's all it'll put. So anyways, when you do that, put it in your stories and then hit the down arrow that's at the top, and that will save each slide separately. And then that way, like, sometimes Triller, for instance, will end with like it popping up and saying Triller at the end. And I don't want that on my story. No one cares to see that. So I'll just save total, the video will be 19 seconds. So I'll save the 15-second part and then just throw away the rest that says Triller at the end. And then I'll close out stories, go back, and then add in just that 15-second. Does that make sense? And then also, if you are double posting on Instagram and you have it as a business account, then you could save it and then upload it to Facebook. However, I learned, my sister-in-law told me, that it just double posts for you if it's just like a normal account or something like that. So that's actually what I have it switched to now, and it saves a lot of time. Yeah. Oh, what did I say here? Oh, I already clicked it. Oh my word, you guys, I'm so tired. Okay, when you're recording the videos, and this one took me a long time to figure out too, because I'm like, how do you never see them like hit the play button or turn it off? Like, how do they do that? And so I finally figured out, like, just let the first 15-second slide play, and then like get into the move of the workout or whatever you're doing, like right before it hits the next 15-second go around. And then that is the one that you'll save, like number 2 or 3, however long it goes. I hope this makes sense. Can you nod or something? Because I don't know if that's confusing. If you don't use Instagram stories, it won't make sense. Okay. But yeah, it took me so long to figure that out. I'm like, oh, duh. Like, so yeah, so just let the first one play and then start doing the mountain climbers or whatever, like right before it hits. And then of course you can just crush your move. And then once you're done, you can get up and go hit save on that move, go back and then record another one. So, and I will say, I was frustrated for a little while because depending on how you record it some days, you know, you do kind of pause your workout a little bit sometimes, or you miss a couple moves, or not like a whole move, but just like a few seconds because you're going over there. And sometimes I debate, like there are some days where I'm like, I just want my own time and I don't want to do this. Or I'll do like the speed up version on our phones, like on the actual iPhone part where it like plays really fast. I don't know what it's called. Let me see. You just go to camera roll. Oh, time lapse. I don't know. Do you guys have that? So then I'll just do like my whole workout and it'll be like 30 seconds long. Sometimes I do that if I'm in a hurry or if I don't want to keep touching the phone and I just want to get through my workout. So, yeah, just play it by ear with that. But I do think it's good to take the time to do that. Because I know for me, the majority of my signups are people that watch my stories and they are really interested in my workouts and what I'm doing. Like that is the part that catches their eye, I'm sure, because I'm not that exciting. And so I really believe it's important to put on there. And it's also like we are being proof of the product, right? And if they don't see us, like even if they believe that we're working out, like I just think it's important to show that and show when it's hard. It doesn't have to be always the perfect video. Like I'm bad at this because I want to show like the best one that I did, and the one that I was the fastest. But sometimes show that you just like collapsed in the middle of the floor or you had to modify. Those are the things that actually help people more because they have holdbacks for a reason, and we want to show them that we're in it too. We have struggles and that kind of thing. All right. Other story tips is about the lighting. And like I now have a ring light, but I did not have a ring light for a long time. So I'm not saying this is necessary to buy right now because they're expensive. I mean, you can get little ones, but all I'm saying with this is just, well, first of all, I learned this one, turn the brightness level of your screen on your phone all the way up. Do that every time before you take a picture, before you take a video, because I know for mine will just adjust to whatever the lighting is in the room. So sometimes it's not all the way up. And just doing that can make a way clearer picture, brighter picture. The other little tiny tip is to make sure that you rub the lens thing on the camera on the phone, because there could be fingerprints. I know like all of our kids probably grab the phones. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'll take a picture. I'm like, why is it so blurry? And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't wipe it off. So just remember those 2 easy tips for one, any selfie, any video. And then I said, like you obviously, I know you guys are busy. We don't have a ton of time to waste with this, but if people can't see you, then like we want the best quality that we can have on it so they can tell what you're doing. So sometimes if you're in front of a window, it can like, black out your face. It's pretty basic stuff. Sometimes even having the overhead light on. I noticed that in the garage, which now I have the ring light, so it's better when I turn it on. But if I don't have it on and then the lights are like behind me, my face is really dark and it's really hard to see. So whatever is possible in your home, like don't try to spend a lot of money on it or anything, but but just kind of be aware of those little things, and sometimes you can like play around with it. The other thing I put is angles of your videos and of your pictures. And all of these things, again, are basic, but sometimes like I just know that they're all things that I had to learn because I didn't know any of this. And I'm still not, you know, like a pro or anything, but they're just little tweaks that you can make that can be more flattering, or, you know, just like a little more pleasant to watch. So I said, if possible, make sure that, you know, your picture is clear and that it's upright. I know sometimes when it's like tilted up or tilted down, it can really distort you. Like, and it doesn't matter. It's still, if that is your only option, then record your video and do it. But sometimes it's just, you know, moving back a little bit or stack a couple books up or something like that. What else did I say? I think that's pretty much what I said. But yeah, it's just something to kind of start thinking about as you start doing this more and get comfortable with it. It's just little things that you can start messing with. And sometimes that's really hard to get. So just do your best. And you know what? I'll go back to that. It's not on there, but the other thing is like, don't forget about like your boobs and stuff. I know sometimes I'm like, oh, can't show that video. So like just turn the other, you know, turn sideways, or unless you don't care, then that's okay. But I know for me, there's just been little things where I'm like, oh, like you're just working out, you're not thinking about it, but in that little screen on their phone, like there's gonna be your boobs right there or whatever. Okay, what did I say here? I think this is my I think I have one more after this, so we're doing good. So as far as like talking on stories, if you can, you know, hold it, if you can see my hand, even holding it an arm's distance away ends up, you know, showing like mainly your face. So just think about, just kind of be aware of the distance, or even like prop it up and just stand there to talk. Sometimes that's easier. And I mean, obviously sometimes you're just like walking in the house and whatever, but just little things to think about. You know, be cheerful, be enthusiastic, be you, but use expressions, and like you don't have to be fake or overly dramatic. But who would you want to watch? And I said this at the bottom, you know, would you want to watch you? Are you bored? Are you like excited? Is it hilarious? Like, even if you're just like totally off the wall weird, but is it fun to watch? Just think of that kind of stuff. And is it, you know, easy to watch or pleasant to the eye or whatever? And again, and I struggle with this one, I've always said this, try to not, just like with the workout stories, it's hard, but like a lot of audience, you will lose a lot of people if we talk like the longer that we talk. And I'm saying this, but like today I've talked so like there are some days that you just need to talk, and your faithful followers will listen to the end. But when you're really wanting to just, like, I know it's taken me a long time. Sometimes I'll go like have a whole conversation to my phone, and I'm like, okay, but Heidi, that was too long. What's the actual point? So then I'll delete it and then start over and just say the point, and then it takes like 3 slides instead of 10, you know. So keep that in mind. Plus I don't like seeing the viewers go down. Like that makes me sad. So then I'm like, oh, like I'm boring, or they don't care to listen to me, you know. And ultimately, like, we want to be effective, and we want them, if our good points are at the last 3 slides, then only the few people saw them, you know. It makes sense. And I don't always do this either, and I think it varies coach to coach, but I've include some of the little like sticker graphic, like movie people things, whatever, or a few words. And, you know, maybe not every time you talk, but if you are inviting people to your challenge group, you know, drop the countdown or the poll, or your favorite part, kind of like a one-liner or something. And I started doing this more. I haven't lately. I feel like I'm not preaching this very well today. But I did start doing this for a while because I had a girl that was deaf. She actually signed up, but it made me be really aware because, well, I didn't know she was deaf, and I started voice messaging her, like, because we were talking about her signing up, and she was like, no, she goes, I can't hear. And that made me think, I'm like, how many other people might be on here that I could help if I just typed out a few words so that they could follow along also. So obviously it doesn't have to be the whole paragraph that you're saying, but usually we can kind of get like a few points on it as you go. Okay. And I said that, like, again, would you want to watch you? And sometimes I don't know if you do this. I will watch my story throughout the day because sometimes I'm like, did I even post? Like, what have I put up? Because mom life and it's like crazy. Even today, I'm not even sure what I put today. So go back and watch it. And if it feels too long for even you to listen to, or whatever, it's just like little things to tweak and to work on. This is the last slide. And these aren't actual apps. Well, I guess the Notes app is. But, well, actually, that's dumb. Yeah, the Coach Codes is too. So the first one is and I can't tell you how to do this because I did it once and I don't remember how to do it now. But I have the Coach Office saved to my home screen. So I know there's a way, and you can Google it, like, if you don't know how. So, like, go to your browser, go to Coach Office, and then you can, like, save it. Yeah, and then put it on your home screen somehow. So I've had that on there since I first started coaching, and I mean, I use it all the time so that I don't have to type it in. You just click it. You still have to sign in, of course, but it just takes you to the website. You can send your share cart. You can check your paycheck, whatever. That's just a quick tip. And then I have an app called Coach Codes. I don't remember if I had that put in the training or not. I might not have. So if you search for it and can't find it, I feel like it should just be in there, but it's like a really bright, like turquoisey teal, or I don't know which one, the brighter of the colors. And it has like CC. And that one, I use it occasionally, but it's handy to have for quick reference of a price of like a program or Shakeology sampler pack or something like that. I can't see it, Emily. I guarantee, like, are there many options for it? That's it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that one's handy to have, especially because, like, I'll get people from Canada or UK, and then you can just change it to UK because I don't have those prices memorized at all. And then I can just go in and do that. And then the last one that I put should already be on your phone. Most people have it, is the Notes app. And I've said this a lot too, but I use that. And you know what I need to do is actually organize it by like a coaching folder, and save everything in there because I'm like scrolling. I have so many things on the notes now, it's not even easy to find. So I need to do that, but put anything in there, like, or Evernote, we've talked about too, is another free app that is just notes. So you could do that too, and it would save it like to the computer also. But that's all I have really. And I would just like to let me stop recording first.